Hey everybody, my name is Paul Eston Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com, and oh baby, things are cooking here. We're a little less than, what are we? So let's see, that's like 30 hours away from the 2022 NFL Draft. This is an exciting time. We are pumped, we are jazzed, we are revved up. And thank you so much for joining me, everybody. This is the Jet Zone right here on Sports War Radio, my Facebook account, the Jet Zone, and also the Twitter account, the Jets_Zone, and of course on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BoyGreen25. And throughout today's show, everybody, we are doing this live, unless of course you're listening to the audio version, which will be later uploaded to Sports War Radio. Feel free to jump in the comment section either on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you are, and get involved on today's show. Although the easiest way to do this, by the way, is hopping on over to the YouTube channel. First off, like the video and hit subscribe because we've got a lot of great content coming, which, by the way, let me do a couple of quick plugs here in case you missed it. Earlier on the YouTube channel, I had to check myself to make sure it was real. The one and only Solomon Wilcots, formerly of NFL Network, longtime NFLer, broadcaster, and do-it-all man, joined me on my channel earlier today to talk Jets and draft. He had some very interesting comments on Deebo Samuel, so make sure you guys check that out. Also, bookmark your calendars, folks. So later tonight, we're coming back on the stream, okay? We had Solomon Wilcots earlier. We're doing the Jet Zone right now, and we're going to do a show later tonight. Mark your calendars. We're going to be doing a 7-round New York Jets mock draft, and I will be joined by a fantastic NFL draft analyst. And the key to this show is we're going to bring you behind the scenes. We're going to bring you in the war room, and we're going to debate picks with myself and our guest draft analyst, and you will see the board. The board will be here with us. You'll have a camera on me, camera on my draft analyst, and there'll be a big board there as we debate and talk, and of course, your guys' interactions. I'm so excited to do that. I'm glad we're going to be doing it. So again, a 7-round New York Jets mock draft with trades and all kinds of other fun stuff. Guys, check that out. They'll be around 9 o'clock tonight, give or take. Could be 9:15-ish. We're still hammering out those details, but that will be happening tonight. Somewhere in that 9 o'clock hours when we'll start. And like I said, you guys at that point can ask questions, comments, tell us who you want to pick, and we'll include some fan interaction there as well. Again, we are on Christmas Eve, draft eve, as you may, so we have to pump out as much content as possible. And I will confirm this as well, that of course, we're going to be doing a live draft show, okay? People have been asking, people have been begging for it, and yes, of course, we're going to be doing it for a minimum of the first 10 picks, of course, the 2 Jet selections, but perhaps the entire first round. We will keep you guys posted, but at a minimum, we'll be coming on a little bit before the draft. The draft starts at 8 o'clock. We'll be going on around 7:30, maybe 7 o'clock, talk about the latest rumors, speculation, and everything that's happening right here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BoyGreen25. Without further ado, let's invite a couple of fans in here who are watching at home. So everybody, I am so ready. This is an exciting time. Matthias cooking up a pot of jet stew. Beautiful. Let's get it. Is there any sauce, perhaps, in that jet stew? A little subliminal messaging, perhaps? And great content. Appreciate it, everybody. It's been a thrill. And by the way, I just saw past 5,000 followers on Twitter. You guys are crazy, and I can't believe it. It's an absolute honor, by the way. I'm absolutely humbled to have these kind of followers and interactions with all you guys. You guys make it fun. So thank you so much for that honor. Appreciate it. So a lot of great content that has happened and will continue to come. VR Heldago, is that the new draft hat? Yes, it is, everybody. Here you go. Here it is. Here's the new Jets draft hat. I did get it. The NFL logo and Jets logo on the back. I love it. I'm going to be honest. I know some people hate the draft hat. I love it, quite frankly. I think it's cool. I think it's sharp. And for those who don't know, I'm a big hat collector. My entire back wall back here, it's in this hallway that you can't see. There are hats all over the wall from floor to ceiling on these cool little hangers. So I have every Jets draft hat from like however long, the last 10 years or something. So I am a hat guy. I also have the Jets draft hoodie, the official hoodie that goes with the hat, and the official Jets draft shirt. You guys will see that tomorrow night on the live stream. So yes, I've been wearing it all throughout the week. Normally during all my interviews, I try to mix up the hats and mix up the shirts and stuff. This is the polo, Jets polo I was wearing. So you can see it, the Jets polo I was wearing for the Solomon Wilcots interview. So normally I like to mix it up, but you know what? With the Jets draft ad, we have to keep it Jets draft. I'm getting pumped up. I like it. Again, let's pick up the energy. Let's pick up the chutzpah. Absolutely nice. Talking Jets with Tigo. Welcome to the show. Hello, all. We got old Dave. Pre-game time. You bet your sweet cheeks it is. This is great. Let's see. How we guys doing? And so, yeah, let's address the headline of the video real quick, and then we'll get back into all these wonderful comments here on the show. So, of course, the Jets started their voluntary offseason training activities on April 18th. And with that being said, it is obviously completely voluntary. But all the players that are in attendance, they're, of course, doing their media-obligated interviews. And we're getting some workouts behind the scenes, some great pictures and video content and all that coming from the Jets official app. Well, Zach Wilson, of course, when he met with the media earlier today, was asked about the Deebo Samuel trade that's hanging out there. Now, you know, general managers and head coaches and members of the team cannot talk about players on other teams. There's illegal tampering. However, or illegal tampering. However, the players are under no such bounds. So when Zach Wilson was asked about it, he straight up said, hey, man, there'd be no hesitation from my side. I'd be all in. He was, of course, asked about the swing and the miss for Tyreek Hill and just kind of said it's unfortunate, part of the business. But Zach Wilson said no hesitation. He'd want Deebo, called him a great player and all these other things. I'll get that video clip up on Twitter in a little bit. I was going to wait to start the show until I got that up, but the Jets had not released that information yet. So that will be coming on the channel at BoyGreen25 on Twitter, and I'll send the full video so you guys can check it out on Zach Wilson. But I do have a column up on heavy.com on the Zach Wilson thing and him kind of sounding off about it, which is kind of cool. So it looks like he's all in, and sounds great to me. I'm all in. That is phenomenal, and it's good to hear from your quarterback. And part of the article, and I'll just kind of share a little bit of it here, is here's my overall overwhelming take. To me, Sam Darnold failed partly because of a lack of protection and a lack of playmakers. Now, if Sam Darnold was as good as we all thought he was, maybe he would have overcame those things and been good anyway. Who knows? But the point of me bringing this up is, like, Sam Darnold partly failed because of those two items I just mentioned. You cannot let that happen again. And what I mean by that is you need to surround Zach Wilson with as many playmakers, as much protection as humanly possible. So if he fails, again, I think I am all world Zach Wilson. I'm super optimistic. I think he's going to be good. But if he fails, it can't be because of you. It can't be because the offensive line was terrible. It can't be because you didn't have enough playmakers. It can't be for any of those reasons. If Zach Wilson fails, you need him to fail because it was him. He just wasn't good enough. And at that point, while it would suck for all of us and it would set us back a bunch of years, at least you'd sleep a little easier at night knowing it was him. He wasn't good enough. The rest of the team was, okay? If you don't do those things, we can't have those questions heading into the offseason. Well, Zach Wilson was solid, but man, he didn't have enough protection or playmakers. That's why he wasn't good, because that is a constant what-if game, and it's a dangerous game to play when you just keep this false level of hope that somehow, you know, if we get those right things in a perfect situation, he'll be fine. You need to get the perfect situation and then see if he seizes the moment and takes the opportunity. So that's really the bones of that conversation for me. It's Snoopy. Paul, we getting Deebo. Now, the latest from Ian Rappaport, who just tweeted out before we jumped on, is he says there is, quote unquote, nothing imminent at this point. He said one phone call can, of course, change that. And he just kind of mentioned that there's obviously a lot that has to happen. In theory, you'd want Deebo Samuel to show up to your facilities and pass his physical and all this. Again, I asked this very same question because I'm like all of you. I'm looking at my watch going, okay, it's 2:27 p.m. Eastern time by the time we're recording this on Wednesday, April 27th. The NFL draft is less than, what is it, 6:24? What's the math on it? So we're less than 30 hours away right now from the moment of this recording for the 2022 NFL draft. Here are the things that have to happen for a Deebo Samuel trade to go through. The 49ers have to allow Samuel to seek trade / contract talk with other team because that would be necessary for any Deebo Samuel deal. the Jets, or any team for that matter, would have to then satisfy the trade compensation necessary for the 49ers to be cool with it. So you need a new contract for Deebo. You need the Jets to agree. You need the 49ers to agree. And in a perfect world, you'd like Deebo to fly in on a private jet and be ready to pass his physical, and all's good from that standpoint. So there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts here. But when I asked that very question, because to me, and I asked it a couple of days ago to both Leger Duzable, former Jets guy, former Jets player and SNY TV analyst, and Connor Rogers, the lead draft analyst for Bleacher Report, I said, wow, it looks like there's a lot of things that have to be figured out here before a trade could happen. And both of them, quite frankly, kind of shot that part of it down and said, no, they can make it happen. You know, you can basically air jet anybody from anywhere on the planet. So that would be easy from the Deebo Samuel perspective. And then the two teams just figure it out. Like the Jets know whatever their offer would be for Deebo Samuel. The 49ers just got to change their mind and say, yes, we're trading him, or no, we're not trading him. So that's correct. And they had the money right for Tyreek Hill. So that money is still sitting out there ready to be used on Deebo Samuel. So long story short, it's Snoopy. Are they getting Deebo? I believe so. That's what I think. This is my opinion. This is not inside sources. You know, based on all the conversation this week, there's just so much smoke that to me, I think he has to be moved. He is dug in. He never wants to play another snap for the 49ers. And if I'm San Francisco and I realize that that last point is a fact, then the 49ers have no other choice but to move him, or they jeopardize their own title chances this year. Now, you would say if you just keep him, you can convince him, but what if you don't? What if Deebo Samuel says, I'm never playing for you, and I'll Le'Veon Bell this back at home? Now, of course, the difference between Le'Veon Bell sitting out and the franchise tag compared to Deebo Samuel, who's under contract, again, he could be fined up the wazoo, which, of course, is another factor in all this. But to me, I think and especially another thing that stands out to me that just came out from Niners Nation and the 49ers West Coast side of things is that things have gotten quote unquote personal between Deebo and the 49ers organization, essentially saying that, the relationship is soured and that things are going south. And that's what Jet fans and any other NFL team that wants him needs, quite frankly, for a deal to be possible. They need Deebo Samuel to throw a fit to ensure that ultimately he is dealt. Ultimately, I think the Jets get him. I don't think anyone could beat the number 10 overall offer. Number 10 overall straight up. And if that's the deal, I look around the league and say, who's going to beat it? Who? I'm like a goddamn owl over here. Who the heck is going to beat that offer? And spoiler alert, no one. Okay? So if the 49ers want more than that, I'd be like, go kick rocks, pal. There's no way I'm giving you more. 10 overall is more than fair. Your guys are the ones that have a disgruntled wide receiver, not us. So 10th overall, that's it. Take it or leave it. I think he gets up. I think he gets traded, and I think the Jets are the team. I just don't see the Jets getting beat for this guy. Again, no matter where you're watching, I see we got a bunch of people in here. First off, like the video on YouTube, hit subscribe, for all kinds of great Jets content. We have a 7-round mock coming out later tonight around the 9 o'clock hour on this YouTube channel with the draft analyst and doing a cool 7-round Jets mock draft with trades. That's going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that later. And Solomon Wilcott's also on the channel, and we got this live stream going on right now. Boy Green dripping, you damn right I am. I try to have the latest juice, the latest stuff. So I am pimping it, baby. You like it. Let's see. So I appreciate that, Dave. Dan NY on YouTube, I like it. Looks old school and simple. That's it to me. Like, I have other draft hats over there that are like Gizmo Gadget, right? Like they had the old metallic logo a couple years ago where it was the shine and sheen. It was like a wow factor on the hat. And that was cool. Again, I like that when that one's over there, but I kind of like the simplistic look. A lot of people said it's ugly. And I feel like there's a lot of rave mentality out there that when one really popular person says, man, the draft hat sucked, then everyone goes, yeah, the draft hat's lame. And I'm like, you know what? Up yours, people, because I love this hat. And I don't care who knows it. So I like it. It is simple. I love it myself. VR Heldago, getting excited. I just can't hide it. Elbow cough. You're damn right. We should all be pumped up, baby. This is great. Vern. Yeah, let's talk about this. This is another thing. And again, guys, you can drop comments wherever you are, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and get involved on the show. We love being engaging. Also, a friendly reminder, if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to give a super chat. You can skip the line, support the channel, and again, skip across everybody. I like getting to all of the comments, as I always say, if I can. But you can guarantee it and, of course, support the channel by doing a super chat on YouTube where you send a little emoji, a little tip, and or a question or topic that you'd like to share on the show. So I highly recommend you guys do that. And you'll get a cool shout out from me. So come on, what's better than that? But Vern on YouTube, the Jets will not consider drafting KT per Connor. And, I'm going to bring this up because obviously I'm a KT guy, so I'm biased. But the thing I don't understand, honestly, is a week ago, we're talking about a week, people, 7 days, that Peter Schrager came out on Good Morning Football and said that the meeting between Kayvon Thibodeau and the New York Jets went amazing, wonderful. And he said in that conversation that essentially, I would not be surprised if KT was a 4th overall pick. And it was all hunky-dory, throwing rose petals. I was celebrating back here. I'm like, yes, KT to the Jets. This is phenomenal. But now, a mere week later, we have all kinds of reporters coming out left and right. Mike Garafolo said he would be flabbergasted if the Jets ended up with KT. Connor Hughes, again, to your point, the Jets will not consider drafting KT. Mike Girardi, NFL Network, the winds are blowing in a different direction. Peter Schrager said the same thing. Like, whoa, what happened? What happened over the last 7 days? Whose cereal did he piss in? I mean, honestly, what happened? I would like to know. So, yes, that stuff is out there, but again, so earlier this week, they love Jermaine Johnson. Now they love Ike Ekwonu. Even though we've heard that for a couple months, but it seems really strong right now. No chance on KT. Is this reverse psychology? God, I hope so, because I want Kayvon Thibodeau so bad. I have heard a lot of people. Today's been a busy day, obviously, so I've not seen the latest Daniel Jeremiah clip. I believe it was Pardon My Take, where he kind of trashed or talked about KT and the negativity around him. I will be honest, I will have to listen to that after this show to get what some people were saying. But again, I don't get it. I watch the games. I talk to people in the know. I don't understand. So it's hard to really rationalize that. VR Heldago, at this point, number 4, edge of choice. I don't care. Hashtag John Abraham. Yeah, to me, again, the only thing that could potentially change that, and I don't even know if it does, quite frankly, is if edge goes bang, 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 1, 2, 3, in some combination, Trayvon Walker, KT, and Aiden Hutchinson, or whatever happens, then at 4, again, do you take the 4th best edge, or do you pick another position? And if you don't pick the best edge, to VR's point, then you're hoping at 10 that the right guy's there. Oof, that's questionable. I don't think it's going to be edge. I released my mock draft. I released my top 10 earlier this week, my top 20, and I'll share it at some point during a free window here between all these shows that are happening. The rest of my mock draft, this is my mock, what I believe is going to happen, my predictive mock. Number 1 overall, I have Trayvon Walker to the Jaguars. Number 2 overall, I have Aiden Hutchinson to the Detroit Lions. Number 3 overall, I have Derek Stingley. Shocker. I don't know. I had a weird feeling about that last week. Wrote up the mock. So Derek Stingley to the Texans. I think they do something crazy. And if that's the case, then obviously you have KT on the board. Obviously, Icky's on the board that some people want. Jermaine Johnson, who some people want. Again, I don't see it with Jermaine Johnson, but I would understand that mentality because I really want to help. And Solomon Wilcox, by the way, he said the same thing. He wants an edge at 4. And, hey, if Sally said it, then we should all jump in. Let's go Talking Jets with T-Go. Okay, a lot here. I have a bit of a hot take that shouldn't be. I don't think the Jets drafted cornerback at all in this draft. I think our room is really deep already, and the staff likes the guys in the room. Thoughts? T-Go, I think you may have nailed it, quite frankly. Because the point is like last year, right? I begged the Jets to get a corner. Richard Sherman, Steven Nelson, somebody. Add someone to this room, we're going to get crucified. And obviously, I was wrong. A pleasant surprise. Bryce Hall played well. Brandon Eccles played way more games than I would have thought. Michael Carter II, some Javelin Gidry love. They played way above their heads. And I'm not saying that in an insulting way. I'm just saying that, wow, they surprised. Now, this year, the only significant addition they made, which was significant, DJ Reed Jr. The Jets continue to tell us they like their corners. Maybe you're right, Tigo, that all these people that are saying Sauce Gardner or Stingley or whoever, like, hey, man, we told you guys last year we're good with our corners. This year we wanted a little extra, so we got DJ Reed. Again, that would be a lot of investment. One of your biggest free agent contracts and the number 4 overall pick or a top 10 pick. That seems hard to believe. I love Sauce. I love Stingley. But ultimately, there is a compelling case to be made, Tigo, that you're 100% right. I think is the fact of the matter. And the only reason I would categorize your take as a hot take is because no one else is saying it. I'm going to be honest. You're the first one to say it, and I said it a little bit privately. This week I can't remember what show I was on. We're doing too many shows, but actually, that's a lie. You can't do enough draft shows. I love this time of year. But I said it on someone's show playing devil's advocate. What if this? What if they actually feel great about their corners, and what do they do? So, Tigo, I'll give you full credit, man. I think that is a compelling take to be made, and there is a chance that they don't go corner with any of these picks. I would not be surprised. Let's get Deebo during this stream. Oh, my. I mean, there was that last video, which, by the way, in case you guys didn't see it, you can try to find it somewhere. It's one of my videos where talking Deebo Samuel. And again, we've been talking to him so much. You'll just have to find it on it was a random Jet Zone episode. I think it was last week. And things have developed so quickly, is that someone told me during the stream they did a super chat, so it skipped to the line. So I'm like, oh, someone threw a $5 tip, and then it jumped up. And that person said, hey, did you know that Deebo Samuel just requested a trade? And I apparently had this insane reaction. So apparently that's the real reason why everyone wants me to do a live stream is all the potential reactions. I could have the picks that could become memes and different jokes. So yes, let's get Deebo during the stream and I will lose my shit. That'd be a doozy. Let's see. Vern, Tigo remembers when Gidry had to guard Diggs last season. We need one cornerback and draft their free agency still. I will say that I was at that game, actually. That was the only Jets game I went to last year, was Jets-Bills at home. And at the end of the first half, when Josh Allen saw that the Jets refused to flip corners, so they would keep their corners on their sides. There are some defenses that do this. The Seattle defense, for instance, one of the criticisms of Richard Sherman, give or take, was keeping him on one side of the field. So if you knew what side of the field he was on, you could just always throw to the other side, and thus you could minimize the impact of Richard Sherman in theory, as opposed to Revis, as we heard in my Mike Tannenbaum interview, flex earlier this offseason, where he said Revis followed around the number one corner. They didn't put Revis on the number two corner and then bracket coverage number one. They put him mano-a-mano with the best guy. And when the Jets refused to do that, Josh Allen went, okay, Diggs, and killed him. So I still think, again, if they drafted Sauce, I would not be angry. I think he's a number one corner. I think he just checks off all the boxes. He's got swag, which I think is important for the position. He's got the length. He's got the athleticism. He's got the analytics that back him up, and never gave up a touchdown in college. And as he says, never plans to in the NFL. Again, he just checks off a lot of boxes. So if Sauce ends up a Jet, there's no way I could possibly be mad at that pick. He's just too talented. But so I could definitely need a number one corner. Now, for those who like it, DJ Reed could be a number one corner zone run. He has a lot of elite numbers from last year, and people have overlooked him because of the size. Saleh even did it, and Saleh said that he even made a mistake when they were together in San Francisco for the first 3 years of DJ's career in bringing it back. RKO, let's bring in the Sauce, baby. I would love it. Again, how could you be mad at that pick? That would be such an exciting pick. VR Heldago. We signed DJ Reed. We have Hall as cornerback number 2. Michael Carter the second as well. Saleh runs a cover 3 shell. No island quarterback needed. Here's the thing I would say, and this is just kind of my take. I haven't really bounced this off a lot of insiders. Now, the Jets run a lot of zone. And the thing for me is I think they ran a lot of zone because their corners were questionable. I think zone can protect a corner. It can make you feel good because, again, if you've got the talent, you could run island cornerbacks and man concepts and things of that nature. I feel like if you had better trust in your corners, you would run more man concepts. Why would you not? So if you got a Sauce and you feel good about DJ, at that point, I think the Jets would run a lot more man in the future. I don't think you have to be stringent to zone or man. I think you could base it off your talent. And I think all of a sudden, if the pantry is looking a little tastier at corner, I think you could run some more man. So VR, you make a good point that is the schematics that Saleh runs and Jeff Ulbrich runs. But I think you would adapt that situation if you had better cornerback play. But again, you could just say, we think, the Jets could say this, we can survive with the cornerback combinations we have. We don't need to do the island corner, but perhaps, again, they would see greater value in that. Again, ultimately, we're going to see tomorrow night. So Dave Eacherberry. I would not be surprised if the Deebo deal is already done. I've heard this. I believe Mike Tannenbaum talked about it during my interview with him on my channel, where there is this kind of agreement. He compared it to the Mark Sanchez deal. Now, if you guys remember that one, and by the way, Mark Sanchez just celebrated whatever that anniversary is a couple days ago, earlier this week, from the 2009 NFL draft. So it's like 15-year anniversary or whatever that is. I'm terrible with math. So whatever that is, he just celebrated it. And interestingly enough, Mike Tannenbaum kind of talked the behind the scenes of that deal. They lined up the deal. Remember, Eric Mangini gets fired. Rex Ryan gets brought in. Eric Mangini goes to Cleveland, relationships with each other. And basically, Eric Mangini wanted a lot of players that were on the Jets roster. There was Brett Ratliff. Remember Brett Ratliff, Abram Elam, and a bunch of other guys were part of the deal. Kenyon Coleman, I think, was in that too. Of part of the deal, you had to get all those guys physicaled out and ready to go. And if the right player, again, the Jets were hoping for Sanchez, was there at 5, they would make the trade live. So you kind of agree to it behind the scenes. You keep everything hush-hush. You have to have a level of trust and belief in both organizations, which obviously would exist with the 49ers and Jets and their close ties and relationships, that if the right player San Francisco is looking for is there at 10, then bing, bang, and you find a way to just get that trade done. So there is a possibility, to your point, Dave, that they're keeping this super hush-hush. It doesn't get out, and boom, draft day. And oh my God, can you imagine the chaos if in the middle of draft, which is chaotic in its own right, from trades, prospects, news, rumors, nuggets, all that jazz, but Deebo gets traded? Wow. Again, I just feel like it's going to happen. We'll see if it really does. That's just kind of my gut on the whole matter, but there is credence to what you say, Dave. And Matthias, he kind of reiterates a point. Again, we have no idea if they're waiting for details with Samuels. Again, whether he actually goes, I don't know how you sneak him in, right? Like a private jet in the back, because someone would see it. If you bring Deebo in a limo to the front, unless you just, like I said, WWE style, that's a good thing for like the Rumble, right? They don't want anyone seeing a surprise entrant because then it kind of ruins it and rumors and all that. So I don't know how you sneak him in there, but you find a way to kind of cloak him up, get him in there, pass the physical, everything looks good and all that jazz. So it could be interesting. Again, something to watch there perhaps. And again, I think ultimately it happens. Let's see. Let's try to find. Okay, let's go back to RKO here. I see a lot of Devontae Adams and Jameson Williams. Whoa, I haven't heard that comp. I think Chris Olave is an identical clone of Elijah Moore when it comes to size and speed. Olave more Berrios on a play, speed to the max. I like the speed element. Again, to me, I just don't think Chris Olave has the same ability after the catch that Elijah Moore does, personally. But Devontae Adams to Jameson. Wow, I've not heard that one. That one's spicy. RKO, I don't think we need Deebo. Rather have Olave or Jameson on a 5-year rookie deal. And this very point, RKO, I highly recommend it if you guys didn't check this out. I just spoke with Solomon Wilcots, again, longtime NFLer, broadcaster and everything. And I asked him this scenario, which Jet fans are debating in the social media streets. On one side, you have RKO, who says, hey, man, I could get a rookie wide receiver on an affordable 5-year deal for probably, 20, 25 million total, plus a 5th-year option, whatever that ends up being. Or you could trade for Deebo Samuel, give up picks, pay him immediately 25+ million per year instead of the whole length of the deal. And I asked him, what do you think about this, Solomon? Because obviously on one side, you've got a proven commodity in Deebo. You know exactly what he is. There's no guesswork, and that's why you're paying the price you're paying. And then the receivers you're talking about, Olave, Jameson, whoever, they're a mystery. And Jameson in particular obviously has the injury stuff. So again, I think there is credence to both sides. For me, I would prefer a vet. Again, I would be excited, elated, as any Jets fan should be if they draft a wide receiver. It's going to be fun and sexy. But again, there is a transition period. There's a transition period for Elijah. As great as he looked in practice, he got injured in the preseason, missed all that. While he was ready for week 1, and again, he had the big drop, I remember, from the Zach Wilson bomb in the middle of the field. But, it just takes guys time to kind of learn the nuances of an offense. The Jamar Chases and Justin Jeffersons and all that jazz, those are outliers. So that's the thing for me. I want guys that can help Zach Wilson right now. Deebo Samuel can help Zach Wilson right now. Tyreek Hill would have helped Zach Wilson right now. The rookies, it's a bit of a guesswork, bit of a guess game. They definitely need depth. You can't be having Jeff Smith and DJ Montgomery and all these other scrubs coming in, if someone gets hurt. Elijah Moore got hurt last year. Corey Davis got hurt last year. That's just really dangerous. You need to make sure you have that locked down. Let's see. New Day. See? Okay. I wouldn't, I always use the owl instead of the new day, new Day rocks. Like, instead of, again, I don't know how many wrestling fans we have in our audience, so I did the owl instead. But New Day, whoo, 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 they're phenomenal. I'm a big wrestling fan. Let's see. Let's go through some of your questions, guys. This is great. And there you go, RKO. Hit it. Smash it if you don't know you would. Smash it, baby. Hit that like button and hit subscribe as well. Before we hopped on, I believe we're up to 1.48K. I'm trying to get to 2K by the draft. I don't know if we could get 500 people to hit the subscribe button by then. However, we'd like to get as many as possible. This is going to be such a cool thing. I've never done a live draft stream before, so being with all you guys is going to be amazing. So I can't wait for that. So please show your support. Tell a friend. If there's like 70, 80, 90 people in here, whatever the number is. Like, if you guys each tell a person, then boom, there's 200 people right there. So let's try to do what we can. Let me go through here. Question. Green Truth. Oh, that's a new name. I haven't heard you in here. Green Truth, welcome to the show. It would have to be the 10 only, and Deebo signing to a new 4-year deal. No signature, no bueno. Okay, I like that. Again, I'm in terms of trade packages, to clarify, to me, it's 10th overall, and that's it. I'm not giving anything. And maybe even the 49ers throw me something back. I'm not going above that. Like Tony Pauline last night, and that went viral, talked about a quote-unquote Godfather offer, an offer the 49ers could not refuse, and I wrote about that. And again, to me, I think that's a 10th overall pick. I think a lot of people said, oh, boy, that could mean, and that stupid trade earlier, if you guys saw on the Twitter streets, Elijah Moore first, second, third, no. No. Elijah Moore, by the way, is a non-starter. If they say Elijah Moore, I hang up the phone. There is negative chance that I'm moving Elijah Moore just in case anyone was interested. That's not happening. Matt Morse, welcome to the show. Can't help but wonder if this deal has been going down since the rumors came out weeks ago. It very well could. Again, these two organizations are intimately familiar with one another. I would not be surprised. Devin Maxwell on YouTube. What's up, brother? The Jets would absolutely not let teams know they're drafting KT. There'd be zero benefit to let the league know that. All smokescreens. I hope so, Devin, because I want KT bad. And plus, again, here's the elephant in the room here. They have the 4th overall pick. KT could easily get picked in any one of the other 4 spots. If they listen to this show, he should be going number 1, obviously. But I mean, to the point, yes, that's why it's weird. That's why the KT crap is weird. Jermaine Johnson, Icky. And again, I get reporters and insiders have to do their job. So I'm sure they get some level of nuggets. I'm not saying all of what's happening is nonsense, but I mean, for it to just all come out. Like, Joe Douglas doesn't seem like the type. I don't know. Well, we're going to find out, obviously, in a little less than 30 hours. So, oh, yeah, I'm sure, right. JD called Connor to let him know what was happening. That must be it. Yes. So I just mentioned this unbothered Zerk, which, by the way, welcome to the channel. The rumor about Elijah Moore is stupid. People brought this up during the Chiefs trade, and it's nonsense. It's not true. It's completely and utterly false. First off, that wouldn't make any sense. Corey Davis could be done after this year, and then you bring in Samuel, and then you move on from Elijah Moore, this promising stud. That makes zero sense. So not going to happen. The Jets would hang up the phone, and so that's not real. That's all total garbage. And it's unfortunate because, I'm now part of the Blue Check group on Twitter, which is an elite class. Again, I'm a big deal, obviously. But no, I mean, unfortunately, the blue checks are kind of being handed around a little too willy-nilly. So sometimes some of the blue check says something and then, kind of goes crazy. This individual, I'm not even going to give him the proper extra love that he doesn't deserve on this show. But if you go on Twitter and search it, you'll find it. To me, complete and utter nonsense, garbage, crap, nothing. There's nothing to it. And also that guy, by the way, when he made up this trade package that apparently the Jets offered the 49ers and they said no or thinking about, he said, like, the Jets have the number 99 overall pick. They don't even have that. So he didn't even do his homework on this lie, which makes no sense. So it's just stupid. Nothing real about that, unbothered. That's why we give you the truth on this show, and the truth shall set you free. Rob D on YouTube would be really disappointed if KT is there and just willingly passing him. Would much rather he be gone by then so I could tell myself it wasn't meant to be. 100%, Rob. And like I've mentioned on the show a couple of times, the worst part. It's okay. If you're at 4, you take Icky, right? Like, at least it was a different position. Like, okay, like Icky apparently is his number one overall prospect. Gotcha, you took him. The worst possible thing that could potentially happen here is if the Jets take Jermaine Johnson at the same position. If you look at KT and then ignore him and go to another guy in the back of the line, so to speak, then clearly that, and then he falls to the Giants and is a superstar, that would kill me. There's no other way to put it. That would literally kill me, Rob. And I hope that does not happen. Let's see. Ragnajet, Zach and Deebo, the Yak King. So many times guys either didn't catch ball from Zach or caught near end zone and couldn't get in. Deebo would have, and Zach will soar Deebo and all our weapons. 100%. That's the thing that's the key to this offense. And again, why I think this is just a natural fit. Two organizations that love and trust each other and so many other things. Again, he would just be the perfect weapon. The perfect weapon for Zach Wilson in this offense. Again, the jet sweeps, the getting the ball in his hands and making things happen. Again, for people who are unclear on this, I tweeted about it earlier. Elijah Moore is 180 pounds soaking wet. Deebo Samuel, however, is 220 pounds. He's got more meat on his bones, and he can break tackles and do all those other things. I'm not trashing Elijah. I'm just saying a lot of people say, ooh, Elijah can do the Deebo Samuel role. No, he can't. He doesn't have the proper mass to be able to do it. And there's no way he's going to gain 40 pounds of anything good to ever be in that conversation. So, yes, I think Deebo would be a perfect fit. Let's go. Guitarist. On what planet is Stingley better than Sauce? Guitarist. I think this is an important note that every team's draft boards is different. Why I believe that Stingley is going to go number 3 overall is not necessarily that I think he's better than Sauce. I mean, again, if you just watch a 2019 tape, then obviously that tape is better than anything Sauce has. That's just factual. However, I just think teams value things differently. And I think that, again, what I'm predicting to happen, I think ultimately Stingley's a 3rd overall pick. When that's right, please throw your rose flowers at BoyGreen25. If he isn't, then just don't say anything to me because obviously I never made that pick. But again, that's just how I feel. I think you watch a 2019 tape, the New England connections with Nick Caserio to how important defensive backs are, and I think they're going to see a 2019 tape and fall in love. And I think a lot of teams feel that way, quite frankly, where Stingley will be their top corner. But we'll see what happens in the draft tomorrow night. VR Hildago, yes, Kyrie Elam apparently running up draft board, super talented player. I would not be surprised. There's a lot of intrigue there. We'll see because ultimately everyone's running up the draft board these days, and it doesn't happen. And Guitarist, good point. What planet would Stingley be better on than Sauce? Well, 2019 would be that planet, I would imagine. Let's see. Yes, there's thought that they love Jermaine Johnson. Again, I will see on that. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it until the pick's official. Matt Morse, edge or offensive tackle is the only way I see it going. Again, that seems to be the favorite in the clubhouse, certainly. Again, corner would be hard to believe. Wide receiver, obviously, would be certainly hard to believe it. I feel like it's down to edge or offensive tackle. Let's see. There he is talking with Tego. Depends on the scheme you run. Sauce is great in a man press scheme. He would shine in New England, and Stingley is the best zone corner in the draft by far. Yeah, so again, it really just kind of depends on who you believe in. So everyone has different takes on that. Let's see. Tyrone, welcome to the show. What's up, Jets fan? What's popping? Welcome to the show. Wow, Sam K, that's a take. Deebo is better than Hill, Brown, and McLaurin. I don't know if I had to rank him again. You didn't put DK in here, but DK would be my number one guy. Again, age, durability, potential, all those things. Tyreek Hill, again, while older but more proven, I think he can make a lot of arguments for a lot of different people. AJ Brown gets hurt a lot. Scary Terry's really good, and he's played with crappy quarterbacks. So, that's possible. I swear to God, Matt, if this happens where Deebo gets announced at pick 10, if it's happening, I mean, that would just be a stunner. And it's cool during the draft. And again, you guys are going to see this because I'm going to be doing the live stream, is that so you're watching a draft and the clock's on, they're kind of talking through picks and things of that nature. And you just see the little red flash go across the board, trade, and then they go to Adam Schefter, which, by the way, I don't think Adam Schefter is going to be there. So I don't know who they're going to. Field Yates? I don't know. But whoever, the red flash across the screen, a trade. And as soon as you see San Francisco, Like, boom, it's Deebo Samuel. We're going to lose our collective crap right here on the live stream. So, oh my, that would be crazy. Matthias, would I mind if they traded at 4 with Eagles or Saints? Yes, I would. I would. That would not, to me, I think there are quality players at the top of this draft. I know some people say, hey, the difference between blah and blah is nothing in terms of the value of the class. To me, personally, no. I think you've you've earned, right? I mean, you are Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are. Again, they earned the 4th overall pick with how terrible they were last year. I say you pick it. 16-19, while intriguing, or 15-18, whatever combination you want to go to. Intriguing offers. And according to the value chart, there's a level of fairness there. To me, I wouldn't do it. I've got 10. If I'm going to move, and again, I feel like you could take 4, and if you really want more picks, trade back from 10, and then you can make up the difference. To me, I'd stay at 4 and take the best player who, to me, that would be KT, Ike Ekwonu, whoever. That's just me. And you're damn right, Sean Bennett. Zach is wanting that Deebo trade. That was really cool, his answer. And again, I will post the clip on my Twitter account after as well. And Sam K, oh, that's cool. We missed DJ Reed here in Santa Clara. Sam K, thanks for swinging by. Appreciate it, brother. Oh, Matthew Diaz Vasquez. You're hilarious, Paul. Love the show. Can't wait for the draft. J-E-T-S, Jets, baby. I'm so pumped up, baby. The draft is almost here. I got to pinch myself. Oh, man, this is exciting. I'm so... God, the draft is amazing. And I've never done a live stream for the draft, so this is going to be historic for me. I've loved the draft. I've done quick videos. I'll say, hey, to my fiance, hey, can you record me for this pick? I want it to be genuine. I don't want to play the clip, rewind to go, okay, I'm going to be really shocked this time. No, I try to be real. So I've had my fiance a couple of times record me during the pick. And then I share that clip after the fact to social media. But this time, none of that technology will be necessary. We'll be live streamed. We'll be over in my man cave over there. We'll have the camera right on me, and we'll be talking all this through together. And I will say this, some people have asked, when it's about to be picked, because I know on Twitter and everywhere else, you could get the picks early. And to me, I hate that. I love letting the Roger Goodell, the commish, walk up to the podium and go, with the 4th overall pick, the New York Jets select, and we're on bated breath. We're on the edge of our seats, and I'm like, oh my God, who are they going to take? And then you hear it, and then it's, whoa, and crazy reactions. So I plan on, during this live stream, again, the first one I've ever done for the draft, I plan on getting away from the comments when we get close and off of Twitter, and I'm just going to flip my phone over and just go, I'm going to do that, and we're just going to watch, react, and then we'll hop on all the interactions and everything else. So a note for you guys. I don't know how normal live streams do that, because I normally watch, ESPN or NFL Network, but that's how we're going to do it. And Dan in New York, that's a good point. That's what I talked about earlier. That would be great TV if Deebo Samuel went to the Jets with 10th overall, but you'd feel like we know something. Right, Deebo at the airport, Deebo's Instagram story where he's constantly showing himself in different places. You would think, unless, again, it just takes for stuff like this, and I go to a good example. Last year at the Zach Wilson Pro Day, remember the big trade where Dolphins moved back, Eagles up, 49ers out. It was this combination of foom, but we never heard a morsel until it happened. So it takes, obviously, a great level of trust and organization from 3 different places to all say, hey, you better not leak any of this. We're keeping it real. And those organizations were able to do it. So, Dan, there's always a chance. And again, if any 2 organizations, especially with the Saleh, LaFleur, and John Benton connections, if any 2 organizations based on current connections would have that level of trust, I think it would be these 2. Again, I have no idea. I want to make that clear. I have no idea if they have a deal done, if they don't. Just my personal opinion, I think it happens. I think the deal has to come to fruition based on a variety of factors. But you would think, right, naturally, that we would know something. But, I guess we'll see tomorrow night or tonight or during the stream maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Matthias, why have we forgotten how good Becton is? I remember him handling the Bosas. No question about it. I don't know if we've forgotten I mean, we have, I think, in a greater sense, because we haven't seen him in basically 2 years. We saw him for a handful of snaps against Carolina, but nowhere near enough to have any definitive take. And then go to year 1 where he had the flashes, but all the injuries. I do think naturally, quite frankly, people have forgotten. But, when we're hearing all this icky stuff and the Jets are clearly doing their work at the top of the offensive line class, again, we're going to find this out tomorrow. And I've said that probably 100 times, but like, is it due diligence? The Jets did a lot of work with Charles Cross out of Mississippi State. The Jets have a huge infatuation with Ike Ekwonu based on recent conversations, both from a couple of guys that I've done big time interviews with, Bruce Feldman. Who was the other one? There was another guest that joined us. We've had so many. First world problem, I guess. But they've connected the Jets to Evan Neal. And I think actually Matt Miller, I think on his mock draft, had the Jets going with Evan Neal this week. Again, whether this is all just doing your due diligence and hey, you never know, and somehow one of those players accidentally their attempt, I don't know, man. Something feels weird. It feels weird. Like Mekhi Becton has been saying the right things and doing the right things, and General Manager Joe Douglas has been saying the right things, doing the right things. I don't know. Is he part of a bigger Deebo Samuel trade? I don't know. There's just so much that we don't know. I have no idea. But again, I think a big reason for it, Matthias, to be honest with you, is just all the work the Jets are doing on the offensive line. Maybe Joe Douglas, again, the complacency thing. He's never complacent, so he always checks under rocks. But man, something's weird about that. I don't know. We'll call it how we see it, but something's weird. Let's see. Braden joining us on YouTube. I think they make a trade for Deebo at draft day with 10. They need to get Hutch or Tibbs at 4 before they do it. That could be possible. I mean, Hutch, wow, that would be a Sam Darnold-esque surprise where we don't think there's any chance. Again, I don't think there's any chance in hell. Again, I will tell you this. If I had the choice, and you may just say I'm saying this, but I've been saying this for months, I prefer KT over Hutch. KT to me is the number one player on the board and number one overall player on the board. That's how strongly I feel about Kayvon Thibodeau. But obviously, Hutch would be pretty interesting as a player, too. I think he's just going to be a very solid pro. I don't know if he's a 17 sack guy, but I think he's just a solid guy. And if that's what you're looking for and a good leader and all that jazz, I think that'll help. Again, guys, make sure you like the video on YouTube, hit subscribe, and feel free to throw a super chat in there on YouTube. Show your support for the channel. Give a little tip and skip the line. I see we have a million questions in here, so I'll try to answer them all here over the next couple of minutes here for the Jet Zone. Like I said, later tonight, everybody, we'll be back on this stream in the 9 o'clock hour for a 7-round New York Jets mock draft on the eve of the NFL draft with a draft analyst, and you guys will see it with us. We'll be using a mock draft simulator. It'll be camera on me, camera on draft analyst, and we're going to walk you through the war room discussions that could happen for the New York Jets, and I hope you guys can join us later tonight for that. Again, make sure you hit the bell notification on the channel and hit subscribe so you don't miss it. That's going to be so much fun. I've never done one of those either, so that should be really cool with a good buddy of mine, a draft analyst. We'll reveal that a little bit later. Okay, let's keep going here. McDuffie is my cornerback one. I like the take. I think there's a chance with my mock, and I had it, the Vikings going McDuffie at 12 because Stingley and Sauce go inside the top 10. So that could be. And isn't that funny, Dan, that there are so many verified accounts contradicting each other about where the Jets are going? This is crazy. The draft is crazy. This is going to be one of the funnest drafts we've ever been a part of, I think. It's just so crazy not knowing what's going to happen. Let's see here. Wild Wave, isn't Hall up for a contract? I'm assuming you're talking about Bryce Hall. And no, he was a part of the 2020 class, only one of the only redeeming parts. That is a 4-year contract, so he still has 2 more years, this year, next year. So not quite. I mean, next year he will be, but I wouldn't imagine crazy money based on his career. Let's see here. Feel free to drop your questions or comments in before we sign off. I see a lot of them in here. Like I said, feel free to super chat. Let's see. Rob D, that's a very smart comment. Carl Lawson coming back is huge, especially if we get edge at 4. It's like we acquired 2 top-tier edges in one offseason. When people say that, it's 100% true. When you get almost these bonus free agents, Carl Lawson's a great example because he never played a regular season snap for the Jets. It's like a bonus draft pick. It's like a bonus asset. And for everything that's holy, I just hope he's healthy because I think he is going to show us all the domination he did during the offseason. Who could the 49ers be waiting for from Vern on YouTube? Who could they be waiting for to see if they are there? Again, in a Deebo Samuel trade, what player could they be waiting for? I think Jameson Williams, to be honest, because again, in theory, the 49ers roster is so good that they could wait for Jameson Williams to help them because, again, they're playing for the championships instead of, like week 2 or week 3. It could be Garrett Wilson too, maybe, but my gut says Jameson Williams. Keep it simple, RC on YouTube. Can't sneak anyone in. We got guys hiding in the bushes. Yeah, I said during the Salah stuff. That's true. So maybe we'll find out later tonight when they're trying to sneak them in at 2 a.m. or something. I don't know. Conscious ZG, you got the best voice in sports. Thank you so much. For those who don't know, I do sports talk radio Monday through Friday, so maybe that's where it comes from a little bit, but appreciate the compliments. Thank you so much. God delivered, I signed for it. So that's about it. Thank you, Jesus. Appreciate that. David Etchenberry, you're revving me up, man. Kick-ass show. We may have to start calling you Paul Mangreenist. And, few people brought that up. That sounds like a disease. I'm not sure. But if the people want it, then I guess you could try it. I guess I'll have to change all the branding everywhere. At Mangreen, like that just doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound, again, that sounds like some level of a disease. Mangreen. It sounds like something you go to your doctor about. But you know what? I appreciate the compliment, though. I'm glad you guys are getting revved up. Dan in New York. I rather have Zach have zero excuses. He is an up-and-coming rookie and potentially Pro Bowl-proven receiver. Zach fails with those weapons. It's all on him. Again, that's my take. Again, if Zach's going to fail, let him fail on his own, not because he didn't have enough. VR Hildago, trade for Deebo at 10, then pick up a young wide receiver at 35 or 38, or trade back for more picks and get a wide receiver. I'm fine with that strategy. Again, I feel like if you get Deebo, you feel pretty good at wide receiver because, again, you got Deebo, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios. That's your top 4, which feels pretty strong. An injury could happen, of course. I still think you had probably another receiver somewhere in that point. 35, 38 are probably too rich because you want to build the rest of the roster. But, again, I respect the aggression to go after it. I'm not going to be mad if they get another receiver. That's for sure. But I don't think they draft another receiver really high if they just traded for him. Oh, yes, let's talk about that, Braden. Good point. I released this yesterday. I wanted to get the clip out to you guys. Dane Brugler of The Athletic, a draft analyst who also joined us on our show, Mock Draft Monday show earlier this offseason. He appeared on the NFL Road Show with Lindsey Rhodes, former NFL Network host, and he said on there that from people he's been speaking with, quote unquote, he believes, and from people that have talked to him in the league, that Mekhi Becton has, quote unquote, played his last game as a Jet. And he indicated that the precipice to that conversation, of course, would be the Jets drafting Ike Ekwonu at 4, and thus you would immediately trade Becton in some sense. But to your point, so to the question, so just to lay the context for people who didn't see that, that's on my Twitter, by the way, yesterday. But the rumors have it has to be a leak from the Jets to try to get a team to want to trade up at 4 just in case they don't get Hutch or Tibbs. Interesting. I had not heard that philosophy and thus screaming out to the heavens that they want an offensive tackle. So if you want one, come get one. That could make sense because, again, realistically, this isn't how I have my mock draft. I do have the Giants going offensive tackle at 5, but the Panthers could easily go at 6 if they didn't want the quarterback. They're trying to trade back, so we'll see. But that's interesting. I could see that. Who's the team? The Saints? And again, that would be the Saints package to replace Teron Armstead. Maybe. Or Mekhi Becton's part of a bigger deal, which would be hard to put together. Nice thing is Zach has never tried to use excuses from Matt Moore's. No, he hasn't. I'm just saying from the outside, and anyone else who's mimicking these comments, he doesn't use excuses. I'm just saying the greater people would in the front office, right? So if Zach Wilson sucks this year and they didn't give him proper protection or playmakers, they could then tell themselves, well, he didn't have enough. Well, if he didn't have enough, isn't that your fault? But anywho, I digress. Let's see. James Lewis on YouTube. I don't get why people are against getting Deebo. Do they want to be perennial losers? I think it's a loser's mentality, quite frankly. I saw a bunch of the comments during the Solomon Wilcots interview, and they say, like, Deebo isn't worth it. Like, why would you do that? You're not a piece away. To me, again, it's not about being a piece away. It's not like, wow, now we're Super Bowl contenders. Would that be cool? Of course it would. But that's not why you're doing it. You're doing it for Zach friggin' Wilson, man. Zach Wilson's who you're doing it for. Not to be one piece away, to help out your goddamn quarterback. Is that okay? Are we willing to do that? Jets fans, your standards have just gone do. Like you're like, man, let's go for the draft. Let's rebuild. How has the draft thing worked out, by the way, in the last decade? Not very well. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but if you have an opportunity to get a proven dude at a somewhat reasonable package of 10th overall, which, by the way, you'd still have number 4 and 35 and 38, then what the hell are we talking about here, people? I mean, for Pete's sake, it is a complete loser's mentality, Jet fans. Like, Jesus, I want to slap you around and say, come on, guys, we're here. Hop on the train. Toot, toot. But, that's neither here nor there, I guess. And there it is. Vern, get this man to 2K by the end of the draft. Okay, there you go. That extends it. So, okay, it's April 27th right now on a Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Okay, the NFL draft runs through Saturday. So we got a couple days here through Saturday, midday, 6, 7 o'clock, something like that, evening, rather. Get me to 2,000 subscribers. Tell a friend. Share the word. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25. You see it on the scrolling ticker. Let's see if we can make that happen. That would be incredible. Again, it would take somewhere in the ballpark of 500 people to hit that subscribe button. But again, if we all do our part and spread it a little bit, it would be really cool. And a shout out, by the way. So day one, I'll be doing a live stream. That's going to be cool. We'll have some interviews and other stuff with whoever the Jets draft. Here's a series I'll be doing. For instance, let's just say Derek Stingley. They draft Derek Stingley. I have LSU insiders lined up, so we'll be able to interview him and talk immediately about the new player they're going to get, or Alabama, or NC State, or wherever the player is going to come from. We're going to do interviews and break down each of those prospects. We're going to do, best players available. So much fun content I have planned for the next couple of days. So I hope you all can be a part of it. So Vern, thank you so much for the kind words. Let's see. Motivates D. Connor Hughes hate in the comment section. Connor Hughes knows nothing of the Jets. He's the last person they tell anything to. Okay, brutal. We had Connor Hughes on the show. I really appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to kind of skip around here to try to get some RKO. Boy Green. Do you think my boy Zach Wilson has been in Salah's ear trying to recruit his BYU buddy Algier in round 3 or 4? I would love it. Again, I've been the biggest Tyler Algier fan in the world. Again, whether they did it at 69 or like 111 or 117, fourth round would be the sweet spot. If you could get him at 111, which I don't know if that happens. Again, the beast, Dane Brugler's mock draft, his projection was 3rd, 4th round. So it's right around that range. So we'll see. 100%. Just like, Joe Burrow did for Jamar Chase, but obviously on a lower level, I'm sure that he's telling him nice things. Let's say... Oh, wow, Braden. I also think the Jets told Becton to stay away from voluntary OTAs to create help to reinforce that they're taking OT at 4. That is conspiracy theory aluminum foil around the head, Braden, but I like the creativity. That doesn't, that makes sense what you're saying, but there's no way that's true. There's just no way. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Dan in New York. We're also assuming that the pick is 10. If it's the Tyreek Hill deal, we can hear about Deebo come Friday. That's possible as well, because you have a chance to reset the board. So you have 1 through 32, night off, rounds 2 and 3, which again would be the entire Deebo. The Jets would kick themselves out of day 2 of the draft, because right now they have 35, 38, 69. If they did the Deebo trade, I guess we have a boring day 2 of the draft, because they just traded all those for Deebo Samuel, which, by the way, would be fine. We'd all just rewatch Deebo highlights all Friday instead, which not a bad choice. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there you go. Dave Etchenberry. Zach Wilson is working his ass off trying to be like Boy Green. Well, young buck Zach Wilson, you got a ways to go, kiddo. But, yes, that's right. I love him traveling around the world. That's cool. Oh, Wild Wave. That's an interesting thought. I wouldn't be surprised if JD tries to squeeze out a 2 or 3rd round pick. The 49ers have no leverage, and John Rentz looks like a defeated man. He did during the presser, which was kind of funny. He just went, Thursday's going to be boring. We don't have any picks. Deebo, we'd love for him to stay. He's a great player. I don't know. To me, I saw a lot of Jet fans on social media saying, wow, based on the John Lynch presser, sounds like Deebo isn't getting moved. What was he going to say? We're trading Deebo. Come on down. The price is goddamn right. Come on, folks. Of course, he said what he was supposed to. Geez, I think a lot of people are just kind of going crazy with some of this. Tyrone Nichols. Boy Green, would you entertain a trade down for multiple picks for the quarterback-needy team at 4 with Tibbs being available? Absolutely not. I don't know if I'd go quite Dave Gettleman. I'm not answering the phone. Saquon Barkley's my guy. I don't know if I go that far, although I'd be close. It would have to be a monster offer for me to move off my number 1 player on the board. So to answer your question, no, I wouldn't really entertain it. It would have to just be so wild. Saints 16-19 would not do it. That would not tickle me. It would have to be if it was the Saints, let's just say they're a team that would make sense, or Eagles or something. It would take both of those first next year, and God knows what. Again, I would be asking a ridiculous price to move me off that, 1,000%. So yeah, for sure. Let's see. Let me try to see any final comments here. Oh, keep it simple, RC. That's a good question. Who's your guy if KT isn't there? That's a great question. If KT's not there, which means some combination. So let's do the worst case, which we mentioned earlier. So it'd be like Aiden Hudson, Trayvon Walker, Kayvon Thibodeau, in no particular order. If they're there, then your choices to me are Ike Ekwonu and Sauce Gardner. Again, I wouldn't take Jermaine Johnson there at 4. That's just my take. I just wouldn't do it. So flip a coin. Probably, if that's the choice, positional value probably gives you Icky, but I'd be fine with either, quite frankly. But yeah, that's a situation I guess we have to embrace just in case. Let's see. Ooh, Richie B always comes with good questions. I love Richie B. Which is more likely to happen? Joe Douglas using the 38th pick to move up into the first round, or using the 38th pick to trade down for more draft capital? I'm going to lean towards the first half. I think it's more likely he uses that to move up, because 35 would be more so the draft pivot point for me. It's normally that first pick, because, again, the teams want to get as high as possible to make a trade happen. A lot of trade activity early on day 2. So that's where I'll lean. I think 38 is more aggressive for trading up. 35 is trade back, if that makes sense. Whoa. Oh, okay. We got a super chat. Okay, beautiful. Let me skip on down to up. Oh, we got a couple super chats. Okay. All right. Let's wow. You know what? I just have no other choice but to respect it. We have a super chat here from a Niners fan joining a Jets channel. You know what? Bravo. Bravo, Keith. The fact that you just supported the channel with your $1.99 and he's not going anywhere. Go Niners. God bless, man. Tip of the cap to you. I'm impressed. It's like the Anchorman scene. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed that you jumped here on the stream to show the support. I will say this, Keith. Honestly, because I've seen a lot of fans of other teams get really annoyed, apparently, by Jet fans this offseason, because you had the A.J. Brown thing. We were in the A.J. Brown's mentions. The Deebo thing, we're in his mentions. DK Metcalf in his mentions. Like, Scary Terry really didn't ever get to a crazy level. It was minimal flirtation, and then other things happened. So we never really got to his mentions. But here's the thing, man. I mean, if he's really dug in, I kind of worry for you guys, because the Jets were able to trade Jamal Adams right before training camp and avoid a blow-up situation, right? Like, they were able to avoid that. My problem is, Keith, is your 49ers were just in the NFC Championship game last year. So they have title aspirations, as they should. But if you're missing Deebo Samuel, like, unless 49ers fans just think, this is just a phase, he's going to want to come back and everything's going to be good. I don't know. Everything I'm hearing says the opposite, which means if I'm the 49ers, I don't want to have Deebo Samuel not play and me not have anything in return from Deebo. Like, if I'm the 49ers and I figure out that Deebo's never going to play for me again, then I have no choice but to trade him to try to get the maximum value so I can immediately keep competing for championships. But I got to be honest, this is the ultimate boss swag move I've ever seen, Keith. So that's cool. I love the super chat from a 49ers fan. I don't think I've ever seen that before in the history of all of this. So, Keith, way to make history, man. Oh, we got another super chat in here. Daniel Faust. There's a sleeper. I want more than Deebo. Utah Keefe. That's funny. Again, we'll see with what we get here. Again, to me, I think he would just be a phenomenal player. And again, another thing I don't worry about, by the way, is some people question like the 49ers system, like what Shanahan is able to get out of him, what LaFleur could get out of him would be different. I don't know. I just believe that they would figure it out with what they have offensively. But good comment there, Daniel. That's funny. And by the way, thanks for supporting the channel, Daniel and Keith. Again, if any of you, we have a bunch of comments in here. If you want to guarantee you get answered and support the channel, please consider Super Chat on YouTube. And you skip the line and I see it immediately. It jumps up as a different color and you support the channel. So feel free to do that if you can, as I'm trying to kind of jump around here to some of the questions. Let's see. But I love the Niners fans getting in here. This is great. Oh, we got another Niners group in here. My team over yours. Give us a 10th overall pick, a second or a third, and Deebo is yours. No. I mean, I've heard some people bring up the 10th overall and 69, which is the third round pick the Jets have. So maybe, but probably not. I mean, if I'm giving up 10, I think that's enough. Like, you're just being too goddamn greedy, my team over yours. I mean, that's the problem. Let's see. Wow, we got like a million comments here, so I'm trying to get to as many of you as possible here as we're wrapping up. Let's see. And like I said, we will be back later, so guys, make sure you come back later for the 7-round Jets mock with trades and all that with the draft analyst. That should be fun. Phenom, I want to go to this one randomly. So I'm kind of scrolling through a bunch of comments to catch up. Phenom, thanks for joining us on the channel. Boy Green afternoon. Yes, sir. I like Hutch over KT, which is a fine take to have, but was impressed by his interview on NFL Network. Yeah, guys, if you didn't see it, YouTube it, or it could be on NFL.com as well. So Kayvon Thibodeau's doing some media run, which makes sense with him in Vegas. And he's a very impressive young man. When he spoke at the Combine, when he's done interview opportunities, he's just well put together. And again, to me, the thing that apparently rubs some people the wrong way, but to me is a tremendous difference, is to some, he appears arrogant and cocky. To me, I just think he's confident in who he is. And to me, I respect that, to be honest with you. I just think he knows what he wants in life and he goes and gets it. So it was a very impressive. So regardless of whether you're a KT fan or not, I would highly recommend checking out that interview. Very good comment there, Phenom. Thank you for that one. Okay, let me try to catch up here on any more comments before we sign off. Again, any last second super chat, send those in and we can enjoy. Let's see. RKO for good luck tomorrow night. I'm going to have a whole bunch of sauce on my table: Alfredo, marinara, pesto, vodka sauce, barbecue, and Ahmad Gana. Welcome to Gotham. Very nice. Very nicely done, RKO. In terms of, by the way, feel free to jump in the comments with that. What is the food choice? I feel like you got to go like pizza, wings. I'm going to have to be a little bit loosey on some of that and make sure it's food that I can eat quickly and jump to the computer and jump back and forth to scroll through your comments. So I can't get too messy. I will be a Mountain Dew guy. I got the Mountain Dew mini fridge, so we've got that going for sure. But people, feel free to drop the meals. So what food are we operating with for the draft? Is there a right or wrong answer there? I think pizza and wings and some of that. I like the snacky food too, like a little popcorn, pretzels, some of that action. We got some of those soft pretzels that my fiance makes with salt. Oh, baby. Ooh, yeah. Those are nice. Real nice. So let's see. By the way, Vern, no Mel Kiper at the ESPN draft. No Mel Kiper for a medical reason. He has something very serious going on, or for a medical condition, can't be vaccinated or something. Again, I don't want to get into all that here on the show, but he won't be there. Kirk Herbstreit won't be there. I don't watch the ABC broadcast anyway. I'm normally an ESPN guy, to be honest with you. I like the voices. I like Mel Kiper. I like Adam Schefter. I like all the names that we kind of grew up with, and seeing like Adam Schefter break the news. He won't be there either, by the way. So ESPN's missing a lot of their key pieces there, which may push me over to NFL Network. But I like Mike Greenberg. I know a lot of Jet fans hate Mike Greenberg's guts. I love Mike Greenberg, so I'll probably watch ESPN broadcast. Let's see. Oh, this is a good point. Keep it simple, RC. Boy Green, you may want to consider watching a draft away from home just in case something crazy happens. Wouldn't want to scare the baby. And from what I just heard from my fiance, because I told her, hey, honey, things are going to be crazy because I'm doing all these shows today. I had the Solomon Wilcots interview. We're doing this right now. I've got the live stream later. There's a lot going on. I'm like, honey, Thursday is going to be even crazier because, of course, you got to watch a draft day movie, which is the greatest cinematic experience of all time. Every Thursday, every year, I watch Draft Day, the movie with Kevin Costner. The cinematic masterpiece. So, anywho, and that's hard to watch that because I want to watch it without interruption, but I also have to kind of keep my eye out on the phone just in case a breaking Jet story happens. Like, I don't know, Deebo Samuel gets traded. So it's harder now. Back in the old days when I didn't do media, right? I didn't do a podcast, didn't do a show. I just enjoyed the draft and got to watch the shows and not have to have any skin in the game. It was easier. Now, I got all these things going on. So not always easy, but I do watch it every year. Last year, the big thing was Dan Orlovsky said on the ESPN show, like, oh, man, the Jets need to go get Aaron Rodgers when that thing broke last year. And I went, what the? Jets, Aaron Rodgers? And it was just crazy. That all was crazy. Let's see. Any last comments? I'm trying to. We just got an unbelievable amount here. So feel free, any last second super chats or final questions or comments. Let's see some of the food. I see some of this coming in. All right, we've got whoa. Let's see. Let's see. Damn went and got a whole damn haircut. And Paul Still, love it. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Let me see. Am I missing anybody else here? Oh yes, RKO. I'm sorry, I'm kind of skipped over that. So we have a 7-round Jets mock draft that's coming up later tonight. It'll be in the 9 o'clock hour. I'll have a draft. It's not 100%. It's 100% happening, but it's going to be somewhere. I don't have it officially scheduled yet, but I'll let you guys know on social media that it should be happening around 9:15 is my guess right now. 9:15 p.m. It's going to be live on my YouTube, my Twitter account, and one of my Facebook pages. It'll be live there as well. Again, a live 7-round mock draft. It'll be myself. It'll be a draft analyst. And you guys will also see on the screen our mock draft simulator that we're doing. And what we're going to do is talk through the war room decisions. And whatever the simulator says, we're going to do. So at 4th overall, we'll see what players are on the board. Me and him will talk about it back and forth. We have different opinions. And then, of course, we'll go to the live chat with you guys and say, hey, who do you guys want? What do you think? And everything else. So we'll just talk through a lot of different situations, which I think is going to be cool. Like I said, I've never done that before, but I think it could be fun. So 7-round mock draft coming out later and tentatively scheduled for around 9:15. It's 100% happening tonight, but it's looking around at 9:15. I do believe ultimately will be that. So that's good. Let's go through some quick 30-pack of PBR. Very nice, Vern. I like it. Let's see. Anyone else with your food choices? Let me see. Go with the wings for sure. Joe Malone, like the wings. Very nice. I think wings is always a good choice. And again, whether boneless or bone out, could be juicy. Could be juicy. I like either. I've heard a lot of complaints about the boneless nuggets. It's glorified chicken nuggets. I don't stand on one side or the other. I think both are good. But that could make sense. Let's see. The last mock draft, that's correct. It will be my final mock draft. My rest of my 32 will be released at some point in the next couple hours. It was released on my radio show, but I'll share that on Twitter. But this 7-round mock will be my final mock. That is 100% true. I should bill it that way. That's good stuff, Matthias. And Wesley Baldwin, you're not getting Deebo. LMAO. Well, I guess we're going to see Wesley and every other 49ers fan that apparently stumbled on this stream. We will see. I think ultimately Deebo gets traded, so it should be a lot of fun. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on the live stream. This was a super fun conversation. And if you need to pass time from now to the 7-round mock later, feel free to go on the channel. We had the Solomon Wilcots interview today, and I did a collab over the weekend with Jets Today, another great YouTube channel on Sunday. So you guys can check that out for some more draft conversation. Like I said, we'll be back in a handful of hours, about 6 hours or so, for the 7-round Jets mock draft. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you like the video on YouTube, please, and hit subscribe as well to the YouTube channel and show your support. It's going to be a fun draft. And to recap real quick, like I said, Solomon Wilcots was on earlier today. We have this live stream right now. We got a 7-round Jets mock draft coming out later. That'll be another live stream in the 9 o'clock hour Eastern time. And tomorrow we'll have a live stream of the first round of the NFL draft. So it should be an absolute thrill. And I hope I can see all of you guys there. Thank you so much, everybody, for enjoying, and make sure you guys stay safe out there. And we will see you tomorrow. And we'll see you later tonight, for the 7-round mock draft. Stay safe and peace out. Thanks, everybody.